pain, and when they fall very low. But everyone has moments that are very high. So we say to love someone is to see them with God's eyes, to perceive them at their highest place, like, as His Holiness said, the mother who sees the baby. When the mother sees the baby, no matter what the baby will do when the baby gets older, the mother always sees the baby as divine, as holy, as sacred. So therefore we call God, in Hebrew mysticism and Kabbalah, Shaddai, which means the divine breast of the mother who feeds us all. And since we're all part of God, so we all, like God, try and see other with God's eyes. So to love is to see with God's eyes. Not an emotion, but a perception. So that's our kind of basic idea. So therefore we say we can now train people to love. Because if love is an emotion, we can't train an emotion, but we can train a perception. We can train people to see. So Hebrew teaching, good Hebrew teaching, there's also bad Hebrew teaching, right? But Hebrew teaching, which is good, is to train people to see, and number two, to give. Ahava, the Hebrew word for love, is hav, to give, and hav also means ecstasy. So hav means ecstatic emotion that comes from giving. So in the West a little bit, if I find someone to love, I'll give to them. In Hebrew tradition, I first give, and if I give, then I'll love. So that's just a gentle present from Jerusalem to Tibet, and thank you so much for your wisdom on loving. And if I'm running a company, a business, I'm a politician, in Hebrew tradition, I need to be a lover. Because if I'm not a lover, then I always want to take, and I never want to give. The training for loving. Gentle.
Beautiful. I think you mentioned love is not emotion, but perception. Emotion cannot train. The perception, through training, you can increase. Perhaps I think this word, I think, may take a different interpretation. As I mentioned earlier, is it that kind of the closeness feeling, whether you call emotion or not, that can train. I usually telling people there are could be two types of emotion. Emotion means something very strong feeling. So here, those emotions which come spontaneous, these usually negative, such as anger, although sometimes superficial reasons, maybe there are, but not genuine one. Then you see the love. I think simply you see some kind of attraction on superficial way, and sort of spontaneous sort of love. That another one. But something like, as you mentioned, you see, now for example, I think according to theistic religion, believe God, so we all creature of the God. So God, I think the infinite love, use that as a reason. Believe God. So I'm a creature or as a believer or follower. So I must develop or I must sustain genuine sort of closest feeling towards all creature and to all human beings. I think that also some kind of training, some kind of reasoning.
Reasoning.
So each different tradition, you see, there are different methods or different way of approach to cultivate these positive, I call maybe wrong, one kind of emotion through reasoning, through meditation, through prayer, deliberately can increase.
Right.
So these emotions which which come through reason,
Right.
through meditation, through training, that kind of emotion usually positive.
So,
So I think the same meaning, the perception,
right, exactly.
through training or through prayer, through faith. Okay.
Okay. Which is hopeful, because if we can train, then people can change.
Yes. So that's why, since that's the reality, now we must make more effort to promote these positive human value, these good things. I think on the basis of either religious belief or scientific finding. This is my belief. To some people who have no particular interest in any religion, these people also need warm-heartedness. But how? Not through prayer, not through faith, not through meditation, but through through education, I feel. On one non-believer, I can't say, oh, Buddha stayed like that, you should practice that. I can't say that. So the only way or sensible way is through scientific finding. Warm-heartedness bring more inner peace, and through that way your health improve, your life becoming more restful, more meaningful, all your ability can utilize properly. If a lot of sort of mental unrest, mental disturbances happen, then many of your potentials you cannot utilize properly, because your mind, then half your mind blocked. Too much negative emotion, such as anger, there. Then human beautiful brain cannot properly function. So that's the medical science sort of now findings. We can explain that way. So through various methods,
right,
to believer, to Jewish people, as we mentioned, these are very right methods.
Right methods.
To make clear and to cultivate, and through that way, their whole life will change.
Right.
Whole society. Then I think the parent becomes more compassionate person. In their family, naturally the environment or atmosphere becoming much more calm, much more pleasant. Then the children who grown up under that sort of circumstances, more compassionate, more sensible person. So that's the way to change our society, and eventually to change our humanity. A few individual prayer in a church or in a
doesn't get us that far. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. So we've talked about a system of training using both religion and science so that people can become more compassionate and giving.
That's right.
And that training applies not only to religion or monasteries, but applies to businesses, applies to politics, applies to political leaders,
right,
applies to people running shops. And that we need to create a system of training that actually could change the world. We say in Hebrew, when a person's born, they're a tinok, a baby, and the word tinok is the same letters as the word tikkun, to fix or to heal. And that every person is incarnated into the world with something very specific that only they can fix in the world. That everyone has a very specific thing to fix that no one else can fix. So for example, Gil has something to fix in the world that no one else in the world can fix, even with great respect, even His Holiness couldn't fix what Gil has to fix, right? And that to love is to first love yourself. And if I love myself, I do a scientific study of myself to figure out, what do I have to fix? What do I have to fix that no one else in the world can fix? So that's our kind of special Hebrew idea that we try and share, not as the best idea, just as another idea. No one has the best idea.